Dan from Power-Pole.
Todd Foucher with Tampa Bay Fishing Channel.
Today we're going to go over how to use a move offshore trolling motor here in Tampa Bay to catch bait, locate bottom structure, and hopefully catch some grouper and snapper. First thing we got to do is position the boat correctly and catch bait, and Todd's a master at that, so I'll let him tell us how to do that the right way.
Sure. What we did is we literally went around the marker here. Most of the time the bait is going to be set up on the uptide portion of the marker here. So you always want to check the uptide part first to make sure that there's bait there. Of course, if you're not marking bait, I would highly recommend going to another marker or somewhere else. But mainly when you find bait on a marker, you're going to see two different types of bait. One, you're going to see threadfins, which you're going to see in the upper water column. There's threadfins right there. And then two, you're going to see greenbacks. Do you see how they're hugging the bottom? So it's definitely greenbacks of what we're looking at there. So you just kind of got to, chum them and see if they come to the chum. If they come to the chum, it's greenbacks. If they don't come to the chum, it's threadfins. Threadfins do not eat chum. So that's one of the main things in the chum that we use. Is a tropical fish food, 33%.
Very simple, easy. You can get the bag at a lot of farmer stores. And I noticed you brought the big bag today, so hopefully we don't need a whole lot of chum.
Nope.
But we've got the boat positioned perfect. We've got a hard north wind, so the trolling motor is holding up here on the corner of the marker, and the tide is pushing this way. So as Todd sprinkles that chum and pulls the bait away from the marker, he's going to throw the net right here and hopefully load us down with some bait.
I like to get a consistency where you get it to where you can almost ball it up. I typically will put about that much water where it shows on top, and you can mix it up and get it into the paste that you want it. So basically just mix it around like this and you'll have the consistency that you need. I can already tell that I've got a good amount of water in there and I'm getting a good consistent mix with it. And then I spread my fingers through so I can get it so it's not clumping up anywhere. And now we get ready to start chumming and throw the net.
If you're on the motor clicking in and out of gear, you cannot effectively chum. So using the Power-Pole move to just hold us here on the perfect spot on the marker has totally changed the game and made catching bait a lot easier.
All right, folks, what I'm using today is a combination of two different nets. One is a dropout cast net, 1.1 pounds per foot, 1/4 inch, 10 foot. And then I have a 10 foot, 3/8, 1.4 pounds per foot. So I have one that's light and one that's heavy. I like to throw the light net most of the time because what happens is, especially on the markers, these baits get pounded. They get extremely nervous and they'll scatter when you throw the net. Well, a heavier net a lot of times will go faster down, and what happens is the net goes past them and they just get on top of the net. With the slower net, with the lighter net, it actually sinks slower, so when you throw it and hit the water, the bait disperses. But then as the net goes down, the bait comes back and it's a slower sinking net, so they get right into the net. So a lot of times I like to throw a lighter net in deep water applications just for that reason. I don't know how the wind's gonna do with this, but it's gonna yank it. It happens. So we're gonna move to a different marker and see if we can't see even more bait. So yeah, we can literally have, just like you did before, is have the bow sitting off of here. All right. One. Come on, baby.
Look at them big dogs. Nice. Nice.
So Dan, why'd you make this so difficult?
I don't know. I thought you were the best bait catcher in the whole entire
Hey,
bay.
we got bait.
We got bait.
We got
it
bait.
took 1, 2, 3, 4 markers, but we got out closer to the skyway. The water got cleaner, which I think helped the bait, came up in the chum, and so glad we got bait. Now let's try and get a fish.
When they dredge these shipping channels, they create a lot of ledges, a lot of rock bottom because of all the limestone that's inside Tampa Bay. I've sent down underwater cameras and literally saw sheer walls of rock just straight up and down from where they dug the channel. Inside of those walls too, there's also caves that go in, and I can literally watch the fish swim in the cave and come back out. So it's pretty diverse inside Tampa Bay, the grouper and snapper fishery. We've even caught keeper American red snappers in the bay. I know people that catch hogfish in the bay. You can catch a lot of offshore species right here inside Tampa Bay.
I like the very easy. These are the Stewie head jigs, which holds your bait nice and tight to the bottom. But I put the hook right through that clear spot in the white bait's nose. And there we go. We'll drop that down, see what happens.
With the tide being as slow as it is, these fish will come off the bottom, especially inside the bay. So what we did is we put a marker here, and it's going to allow us to use the Power-Pole move to say, you need to go to this mark.
Whew. Already?
Yeah, I think they stole it. They did, I think.
All right, I need a bigger bait.
Yep, they stole it.
So we've got our 2 waypoints here. Todd found the rocks over on that screen, but it laid the waypoints on our map. So you click on 221. At the bottom, you hit go to, and then we are gonna engage autopilot and then hit start. And now the move is gonna drive us right to waypoint 221, which will be right where the rock pile is that Todd marked.
Feels like small grouper. Holy Lord.
Did he hit a livey or a cut bait?
Cut bait. Got my cut bait back. That's a good sign. That's what we want to see.
All right, I'm gonna go over the tackle that we're using for these grouper and snapper. Now it does look light, but there's a reason. We're using 10-pound braid, and that's so as the current's moving, it has a lot less drag and we can hold the bottom with the minimal amount of weight that it takes. So as you can see, we've got a lot of different size jig heads, from 1 1/4, 3/4, ½ ounce, all the way down to 1/8 ounce. Depending on how the tide is moving throughout the day, we'll switch our jig head size, but we run 10-pound braid to a 20-pound fluorocarbon leader. And then we'll switch up the baits from thread fins to greenbacks to cut bait and find out what they're hitting on. But that's what we're using, and you can land a lot of very large fish with 10-pound braid, 20-pound leader on a spinning rod. Now do you just let it sit right on the bottom?
If it's moving somewhat decent, I'll pop it up like this to kind of let it kind of move to a different spot with the tide and see what happens. And sometimes we'll bounce it. We'll bounce it like that to get it away and kind of work different portions of the structure. This is a gag, I think. Yep.
Look at that pretty fish.
Not a bad one. Oh, look at his tail. No wonder why he didn't fight extra hard, especially for that size. He's bleeding from the tail.
I wonder if the porpoise got him.
I didn't feel it. It's not fresh though. That's
Huh. Good job, Todd. You're up 100 already.
There you go. Nice gag.
Another gag. Good rock bottom. Uh-oh. We got dolphins excited. Thank you.
Good job, Dan.
Pretty fish. Look at the blues on his tail. How pretty. Let's go get another.
They had a 48
Don't tell
and they
Todd.
wanted us to.
But that one came on a thread fin. Yeah. Not that we're counting.
I told you. The blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a great while.
Okay, so we fished this spot. We've caught a few groupers off of it, but I want to reposition the boat and drop back about 40 feet. So what I'm going to do is hit the down button right here on the Simrad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The trolling motor is now going to put a new waypoint back there 40 feet behind us, and then we're going to stop on some new rocks and see what we can catch.
He just got taken, either by a dolphin or a shark. The way he was running, it was definitely a dolphin.
It's crazy, just one little 30-foot move, bam, fish on. You take the jig, drop it to the bottom, and you'll see the line just peeling off your spool, and it'll peel off the spool till it hits the bottom. Then right there, you can see it stop. That means I'm down on the bottom. So I can click over and wait for a bite. You'll get a lot of pecks, a lot of snapper, a lot of grunts are attacking the bait right now, but when that gag grouper comes along, he just bumps it and about pulls the rod out of your hand. Oh, there we go. He's got it. Not as big as the last one. Oh, so we're tied up now. Todd's coming over. Well, for a windy day and the challenge catching bait, it was fun coming out here using the Power-Pole move and the Simrad integration to find bottom and, you know, GPS lock on that spot. But appreciate you taking us out here. We caught a few gag grouper and it's always fun.
We lost a couple of ones. We lost how many fish to the dolphin? He just got taken.
You forget how much fun and camaraderie and how much razzing back and forth when we lose a fish or hook a fish. So we definitely need to get out here and do it more.
I totally agree with that. But I can tell you right now that our move is way faster than any other trolling motor that we've used. And it's much more powerful. So, and we're just sitting on one right now, guys. Well, we only fished with one all day long, didn't we?
Yeah, I like to, again, fish one trolling motor. You know, we have a whole system here with one battery, and if we somehow drain that battery, we've got an entire another trolling motor and battery system to keep going all day. But it's just sitting here in this wind. It doesn't look rough, but it's been blowing a solid 15 to 20.
Easy.
And I mean, the move's sitting there right at speed 12, locked in, not eating a lot of power.
No, and that's the cool thing about it is that even on real rough days, we've been out, and when the tide and the wind are going with each other, all I do with the charge is I bump it into gear a little, not into gear, but just bump it up at RPMs and just charge those batteries, because all I use is lead acid. That's all I use. It's group 27 lead acids, and they last all day long. So we've been out in solid 3-footers with the Power-Pole move with no problem.
Cool. Glad to hear it, and thank you guys for watching. Hope you learned something.
Yep, thank you.